Hello, hello, how is everybody today? Watching on YouTube. I hope it's a beautiful day for you. So, ever since I switched to going live at 10 a.m. instead of 9 a.m., Lisa Marie, how's it going? Hey, Lacey, good to see you. Spirit Baby, good to see you. How are you doing? Kia Marie, hi, how are you? How's your week? How is life? Yeah, absolutely. I would go with Oracle cards. They're talking about Oracle card decks for you, Spirit Baby. It's totally safe to buy tarot, and you might want to end up buying both. But if you don't already read cards, Oracle might be easier to start with. And they're talking about, like, I think there's a card deck called Whispers of Ganesha, Oracle card deck. They were mentioning that one for you potentially. But go with what aligns for you and what feels good to you. Good morning, Lacey. How are you? Okay. Oh, that's still hot. I do like your shirt. Thank you, Lily. How are you doing? I like the shirt too. It's $6 tees. If you can believe it, it was a $6 t-shirt from $6 tees. Hey, is that Mata? How are you doing? Modat00? Yeah, no, I don't know. It's held up pretty nicely. I've had it for a little bit here, and it seems to be washing well and everything, so there's some good ones on there too. Good to hear it. That's awesome. Yeah, how's everyone doing today? Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm just hanging out. How is... Tricky Nikki, hi, I tried to do a donation and it processed for 15 minutes, but I X'd out. Do you have PayPal? I do have PayPal. I might have to, if you use my email, brandonhbloom@gmail.com, you should be able to get my PayPal that way. Hey, Live Simply So, how are you doing? Hey, Lolo is my name. Oh, how are you doing? So if you try my Gmail, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Tricky Nikki. Should I date in my 20s? Yeah. Yes, Mia Jonkers, I would date in your 20s. And they're like, you might have a good time. So I feel like worth getting that experience, Mia Jonkers. Hey, Claudia Del Bianchi, how are you doing? Rainbow Tissue, hey, how's it going? Good to see ya. Oop, oop, oop. Will I end up doing what I'm supposed to? Sophia asks, will I end up doing what I'm supposed to? I get yes. I get like this, they kind of show like it's like roundabout. So let me get a bit more information on that. Here's what I get. They're like, yes, you will end up doing what you're supposed to do, but take the journey to get there. It's kind of like that Rome wasn't built in a day is kind of what they're showing me, is that kind of quote. So that's what I would say for you. Christy Sai, anything for Dave and I? Definitely patience is the first. Olive tree leaves. Dang it, I'm going out right now. No, I'll probably be on unless you're going out for a while. Hopefully I'll catch you on the next one if it's not this one today, Olive tree leaves. Patience, by the way, Christy Sai, was what I was getting regarding Dave and you. I feel like he might actually be into you. Let me see. I don't know why, unless you're already seeing this person, I don't feel like it's something that works out right away is what I'm getting. I hope that makes sense to your situation. It resonates. Good morning, Destiny. How are you doing? Woodland Wahind. Hey, thank you for what you do. You're welcome. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Sophiels. K Heavenly Angel. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Let's see here. We're gonna venture the Q&A here. Manu Rose, any messages from Spirit for me? The first thing I hear is go your own way. And they're kind of giving me that crowd, like, don't follow the crowd. They're giving me that quote, don't follow the crowd. And the full quote, I think, is don't follow the crowd, they are lost. I feel like now is a good time to start exploring what you want to do, and kind of forging ahead in your own way in life. And there's more opportunity than ever before online to do so, if that's something you've been thinking about, Manu Rose. I do feel like there is abundance up ahead, but I feel like it'll be a journey to it. They're kind of showing it to me like you go on your journey and there's a bit more abundance, and there's a bit more abundance, and there's a bit more abundance. And they kind of show me this series of, it's like a trail, or like, on the maps, when on those certain like movies, they'll have like the airplane with the dots behind it. Like I see the dots, and then like there's a big like basket or harvest, and the dots, and there's a bigger basket, and then the dots, and there's a bigger basket. So, but I feel like any type of journey towards further abundance might be slow, but fruitful. It's something they said. But it's worth going towards. What else is coming through from Manu Rose? Let's see. This card kind of popped out here. Our Lady who gives peace. So what is the message here? So they're kind of pointing my eyes to this bird, and they gave me the word roost. They're showing me roosting. And funny enough they gave me the word roost, and they showed me, there's I used to play, back in the day when I was growing up, I used to play quite a bit of Pokemon, and there was a move called roost that the bird type Pokemon could learn. And it would pretty much just recover their health points. That's pretty much the message. I would definitely take time to like roost, to rest. I feel like introspection is a theme for a lot of people right now, or at least that's been coming through for pretty much every other person I've done a reading for, as far as like personal readings go. So I would definitely keep that in mind as well. Anything else from Manu Rose? Magician popping out. Now is a great time to start working your magic, is one thing they're saying. Let's see. I would also, the moon card coming out here, one of the messages they're bringing through is stay resilient. So if you feel like you're in so a lot of the times a moon phase might be like you feel like lost, you're not sure where to go, or you just kind of feel a bit confused. But a lot of the times the moon card does say keep going, because there is a path, you'd walk the path. I do see a message about false fears. So if you feel like afraid, I feel like a lot of it is false fears. Trust your gut and intuition, but don't listen to fear. See it, but I feel like a lot of the fears are not true. But on the other side of this phase, it's a lot better, is one thing they're saying, as far as a moon phase. So I hope that helps, Manu Rose. It makes sense to you, and I hope you have a great day here. Thanks for the cake, Lyndon. Thanks for the flowers, Lyndon. It's Momo. Am I finally figuring out my purpose? I get yes, or a lot closer. I feel like your purpose is also a lot broader than you think it is currently. And that's not to dissuade you. I would definitely keep going the direction, because they're showing a funnel. And they I guess not always, but they've used funnels for intuitive visuals a lot, but it's more or it's like an iceberg might be a better analogy, because people understand the analogy of iceberg pretty well, where you hit the tip of the iceberg and you're like, ah, yes, my purpose. But then as you go under the water, you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much more. And that's one thing they're kind of showing me. And when the funnel analogy, it was talking about a funnel, but it was you walked in through the tiny end of a funnel, and it got bigger as you went into it. So I feel broad is the word they're talking about. And a lot of your purpose you've been playing out in the undercurrent of your life. That is to say, the energies you bring to the table, who you're supposed to be in certain situations. I do feel like there are certain things where your purpose can play out in bigger ways, and there's physical manifestations or events that really correspond with your purpose, if that makes sense. And if you don't feel a lot of purpose in what you're doing, there's probably a reason you're at where you're at. But it is driving you to something that is supposed to be the next level for you. Does that make sense? So that is what I get for you. I hope you, it's Momo was the person. I hope that helps. Any penny pie. Am I headed in the right direction with my job? I get yes, totally. That's what I got. Keep going with that, Andy Pandy Pie. Ooh. Okay. Sorry, guys. One second here. Oh. Hi, Chris Reeses. I thought this was your other question that I just saw in chat, but this works too. Any concrete advice for continuing down the well? I know exactly what you mean. Let's see. For you, about this question, continuing down the well. Boring advice. So I'll go a bit deeper into this if I can. But they're saying like just move forward. And don't get stuck in the past is one thing they're saying. I feel like by continuing forward, you're continuing down the well. That is the message I get. And I would also try not to stay stuck if you feel stuck in certain things. I feel like you're getting really good at releasing baggage, Prince Priestess, is something they're saying, which is great. And as far as like that well analogy, because I remember we had this conversation, so I don't know if anyone else watching this will know what I'm talking about, but okay. There's also a bunch of cards like floating out here, so give me 1 second. So this one, which one do you want me to show first? This one popped out, Our Lady of New Vision. I feel like as you pop out the other side of like certain life experiences here, I feel like you're gonna have some new ideas dawning on you, or it's like the path is illuminated before you a little bit differently. It's like sometimes we think the path is one thing, but then this is what they're showing me. It's like there's a path and then like the lights switch up. And it's funny, I realize you do acting and I just put 2 and 2 together because they're using like acting spotlights. It's like the lights switch up and all of a sudden the path looks a bit differently and there's like a different path that was like right next to the original path that you like better is something I'm getting. So I feel like it like almost runs parallel to like what you've been going for, but it's like just a little more up your alley is one thing they're saying about that. Our Lady of Charity popped out, and this is about, they're talking about community with this one. Like I think that was one of your other questions I saw really briefly. And they keep pointing my eyes to these doves. I do feel like peace is one of the words. Our Lady who gives peace was like sitting here again, but right under that, Our Lady of Radiant Grace. So I feel like those are some keywords as well. I would definitely ask for grace and manifest more of it if you haven't been. They also want to let you know you're divinely protected is one thing they're saying. But Our Lady of Charity, so what's up with charity and community? For some reason, here's what they're mentioning here. I would also ask for a miracle. And Our Lady of Sacred Union. So that looks pretty promising for like love and community, Our Lady of Sacred Union. I'm sorry, these cards are just flying out, so give me 1 second to get with, to ask what they're saying here. Well, they already tell me what they're saying, but you know what I'm saying. Give me 1 second to read the cards. Here, the message is kind of like give and you will receive. They are also talking about like volunteer work might also help you meet people. I don't know if that's a hard and fast rule, by the way, but the other thing is like, I remember a story a friend told me where her and her, petition to go live, I'm sorry, I don't know you. One thing a friend told me is like her family used to do volunteer work. And like when they did this volunteer work, they just had so much abundance in their life. And like so much good things. But then when they like stopped doing the volunteer work, like the abundance, I'm not saying like you have to do volunteer work to have abundance. That's not what I'm saying. But her experience was like when they were giving and providing that community service, like they were getting a lot of abundance. But when they stopped, like the abundance wasn't there as much. And I don't want to limit anyone and say you can't have abundance without doing volunteer work and community service because that's not necessarily true at all, but there is something to when you give, you receive. Giving is a good way to kind of cultivate more abundance, especially if you're authentically giving. And the way they showed me this, for anyone who needs to hear this, is I one time asked, because one time a friend, this was way early in my journey, a friend brought through a message like, oh, all these like, because I used to go around and gift crystals to like the land or to parks or to like places I felt really needed it, or I'd have all these tumbles and I'd be like, okay, where would it be highest and best for me to gift this? Like if I felt called to gift the crystals, I wasn't just like buying crystals and throwing them at the earth. But once I had a crystal for a bit and I felt called to gift it or guided to gift it, I'd be like, okay, so I'd go on a walk and I'd see like a tree with a hole in it. I'd be like, oh, perfect. And I'd feel, if I was guided to, I'd just put these crystals where I was guided. And then and I would always set the intention, like maybe this be a blessing for the land and the people here, fully for the highest good. May it do the highest and best work, be of the highest and best service, when I'd gift a crystal. And so essentially like the energies of the place would transform. But a friend once told me like, yeah, all the crystals you're gifting, like that abundance is going to come back to you like 10 times over. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And so I checked in, I'm like, so why does it work like that? Like when you give, you receive. And like there is like that, yes, you give and receive and you feel good, but there's also, you literally start to receive more when you give, especially if you're giving authentically and genuinely and with the intention to give. And what they showed me was the visual was like me, but like in my eyes, instead of eyes, it was like stars. And so it was like, okay, you are the universe. And it showed me giving something to someone else. And then they were like, there's stars in their eyes. It was like, oh, they are the universe too. And so it was like, when you're giving, you are the universe giving to the universe. So it like comes back around because you are the universe giving to the universe. And so the universe is giving back to you. Because like, even if it's nature or you're kind to an animal or something like that, that you're giving that to the universe. And so you are the universe. So it comes back around. It's very interesting. It's like the universe is everything. So when you give to the universe gets back. Does that make sense, guys? That's so I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like go on that tangent, Prince Priestess, but I hope that brought some advice for you regarding continuing down the well. You are getting on the right track if you don't feel like you are. Again, I would, and this card was popping out as well. Our Lady of Promise. Or was that for the previous reading? I don't know. These cards are flying, so I apologize that it got all over the place. But for you, any last messages for Prince Priestess here? I think we talked about this already, but you might end up leaving where you're at sometime in the relatively near future here. But that's something they added in really quickly. I'm like, I think we already had that conversation at one point. So I hope that helps, makes sense for you. And this brings more clarity and no confusion. Tiny Heathen, should I go back to study mortuary science? I feel like it's not a bad idea, but you'll probably choose something else. Is what I'm getting. I feel like it's like half your jam. Like if something's totally your jam and you're into it and you're loving it, like, oh yes. I feel like mortuary science is like halfway there, or maybe a bit more than halfway. It's a good option. I don't feel like it's exactly what you want. If nothing else calls to you, like sure, take it. I would just hold off for a second and make sure it's really what you want, is one thing they're saying. I hope that helps. Tiny Heathen 95. Good to see you, by the way. Hey, Destiny. Good to see you back. Hi, Deja. How are you doing? I hope you're having the best morning too, Prince Priestess. You're welcome, Prince Priestess. Okay. Ooh. What happened with Deja? Why are people proud of her? I'm curious. Sorry, give me 1 second to check in with... Did I miss something? Maybe I missed something. I'm proud of myself right now. Oh, I'm glad you're proud of yourself, Deja. That's awesome. Deja's the moderator, by the way, guys, so send her some love. She is fantastic. And she's cool, and she does her best to be of service here, and does well. So love for the moderators, as always. I always encourage you guys to send love to the moderators. So next question. Woodland Wahine, will I be financially abundant? I feel like yes. I feel like that's down the long term. I feel like this is something you build, is the financial abundance, based on what I'm getting. So what else is here? What else for you in that? They're like yes, but keep doing the things you need to build abundance is what pretty much what I get. I hope that helps. Hoagland Marlowe. Well, I found a house to move into very soon. Yes, but I feel like the message I get is persistence pays off. So I'd be very persistent in that, is one thing I'm hearing. I think I passed both of my classes. I'm excited to get my license this week. Heck yeah, Deja, congrats. Good job. All right, next question. Extra small popsicle. How are you? How are you? Hi, Brandon. What's coming for me? Any messages? So Our Lady of Sacred Sisterhood popped up, and I heard something about more friends. I don't know if you're someone. I don't know if you necessarily lack friends, per se. But people you can count on is one thing I'm getting. I don't know if that'll be tomorrow that shows up, but that's kind of like what's happening in the general future. I'd also say some purification. Our Lady of Holy Fire popping out. Sorry, I need to censor this. Our Lady of Purification popping out. Our Lady of Holy Fire is what's popping out. But I'd say, what's up with the purification? I feel like it's like a detox, but it's more mental, emotional, is basically what I'm hearing. And so Holy Fire is also a type of, or a branch of Reiki. I forget. I think it's just called Holy Fire Reiki, or Reiki Holy Fire. I don't know. I haven't taken that branch of Reiki before. That's not necessarily saying you need to learn that Reiki branch. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's just one thing I wanted to say really quickly, because that popped into like, where did the purification come from? So I'd say like, it's almost like creative destruction, where, for instance, there was this podcast. They don't want me to talk about the podcast, but the idea of creative destruction, where certain things happened, like my gosh, the Mongol Empire, and like just some of like the outrageous like path of destruction they swathed across like that whole era of the Mongol Empire. Like, some historians talk about it being creative destruction, where it's like that's how it got rid of the old systems that led to the world being how it is today. So they're like, oh, is it really a bad thing? But when you look at it, you're like, there's some pretty brutal things that took place. So it's like, I see where both parties are coming from, but I'm not saying the Mongol Empire, or the analogous version of it, is going to sweep across your life here, extra small popsicle. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. I feel like it's going to be a bit more gentle and more on the mental, emotional side, as I said. But sometimes there's creative destruction or a detox that really opens the space for something new and better aligned and more welcome to come in. So that's kind of more what I'm seeing. That is one thing I'm getting intuitively to tell you based on the card and the messages. This card, so I don't put these, like, I'm just opening the deck here, and then cards will fall out randomly. And so this card came out again. One thing I'm hearing with this card is I would make a wish, honestly. I feel like if the universe has ever made a promise to you, it's going to keep it, is something I'm getting. And they're pointing my eyes towards this my gosh, this stuff right here, if you can see it, it almost looks like mistletoe. So why is mistletoe showing up in, why are you pointing my eyes to the mistletoe? I feel like if you don't have love, you will. Extra small popsicle, if you do, I see it potentially getting more fiery, is also something I'm getting. So that's what I get. I hope that helps, extra small popsicle. But I think one thing I get, is things will definitely be okay. It's one thing I want to get through for you. Mini VDM, will the change the doctor made make things better? At least slightly is what I get, mini VDM. I feel like it can get all the way but it's not there yet. That's one thing I'm hearing as well. I feel like they'll help you a lot. I would keep going to the doctor also, is one thing they're saying. Oh, not Jade. I think Jade's typically cool. We can probably unmute her. Unless, correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. Oh, who's next? Can you tell me anything about my spirituality? Okay, interesting. Malika, good. Well, I meet my twin flame one day. Here's what I get, and here's what they want to say for you. And you might hear different things from different readers, but here's what I get. There's kind of like, there can be, as far as what people constitute as a twin flame, and like, one second, what do they want to say? There's multiple twin flames is what they're saying. And so here's what I want to say about that is like, if a twin flame is a soul incarnate into, different beings or incarnations on Earth, just incarnate at the same time, souls kind of operate outside of time is what I get. They're not really limited. So you can have a soul that incarnates in multiple incarnations at the same time, more than just like two people, if that makes sense, because souls are unlimited is one thing I'm getting. So like, you will meet one. Is that going to be your romantic partner? I feel like it can be, and you can definitely manifest like encountering a twin flame and having that, or at least having the energy of a twin flame connection, if that makes sense. And I remember one time I channeled for a woman I knew, actually a really cool woman, and she was talking about how she saw a video where like everyone was going to meet their twin flame, and she was like, I don't know how that's possible. And I don't remember the interaction that much, one, because I was in channel mode, but I remember what did come through, and kind of what she and I talked about was like, even if you don't have like your specific twin flame come in, you'll have the energetic frequency that matches it, and you'll have that energetic match and have a twin flame experience, even if it's like a soulmate connection that kind of looks like a twin flame connection. And so it's kind of like, you can have that experience and you can manifest it if you want to. Does that make sense? And like, I feel like sometimes there's this idea that our twin flame is the person we have to be with. I haven't necessarily seen that work out that way a lot. And I think sometimes we can get caught up on like, someone's our twin flame and this is our destiny. And then we get all attached to this working out, and then like it doesn't always work out, and it's very disconcerting. And it's definitely can be a very big wake up, shake up, like awakening for people where they get into spirituality and it can serve a purpose. But yes, so the answer is yes, you will meet a twin flame. I don't feel like it's going to be everything you think it's going to be based on what my guides are saying. But, you know, oh, sorry. I thought you said, will you move to Cali, Brandon? I'm like, yeah, why not? But, because I am looking at moving here. I'm getting not California though, so no, I don't think I'm moving to California next year. But will you move to California? I get highly likely. I feel like you can afford it. I feel like there's places you can afford it. I would make, one thing they're saying is like, make sure it's a place you really want to go. I wouldn't move there just because it's California. I don't think that's your thought process anyways, but I don't know. That's just one thing to oh yeah, California. I've been to California once when I was 12. I really liked it when I was 12, but I don't know. I really love the ocean, so that's one thing. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. But does that help answer Malika good? I'm sorry if that's not the answer you wanted, but that's kind of what I'm getting there. It's like, yes, and it will be really interesting. But it might not be your forever person. I just want to give you the heads up for that. Trinity, is my boyfriend right for me going forward? I get yes for a while, is pretty much what I get. I would stick with it and let it evolve is the advice I get. Um, and I hope that helps. Um, Nose flower. Brandon, you give the same energy as Oregon for some reason. Oh, that's very interesting. Um, I don't think I'm moving to Oregon based on what my guides are saying. I did do a reading for a woman who lived in Portland, though, which was very interesting. I'll see what that. I'll see why that is. I think that's interesting. Um, all right. Sharon, does Tej actually love me? He has strong feelings, is what I'd say. Um, he's getting it there if it's not there, is what I'd say as well. He does care deeply for you. That's what I get. All right, let's keep it going with the positive relationship messages, guys. I feel like half the time I just go with what I get, so I just get what I get. But it's been a good string of positive relationship messages, which is pretty good here. It's not always like that in the lives if you follow these lives. Okay, Heavenly Angel. Can you tell me anything about my spirituality? Here's one of the. Okay, I'm gonna just let them see what what the angels want to say here. What source wants to say here? One thing they're saying first of all is like you're more vast than you realize, and of course this isn't a metaphysical sense. This isn't physically. Please don't take that as a physical thing. But metaphysically, like I don't know, I haven't seen like a picture of you, so. But what I do get is like you're more vast than you realize spiritually. I feel like you're definitely coming online pretty rapidly. I feel like you could do mediumship and channelings type stuff if you wanted to get into that. I would definitely, if you already have crystals, great. I feel like working with crystals would be helpful for you as well. It would just kind of give you a nice boost. I tried to combine words there, sorry. Boost and get you to the next level is one thing they're saying there with that. So what? Anything else about our spirituality? I feel like you're elevating, and sometimes, and answered prayers coming out here as well. Sometimes I just pop open cards as I talk without thinking, and it's usually, it's always part of like the reading, I would say, but it's just when it pops out, I just want to. Our Lady of Answered Prayers. I would, if you haven't learned to manifest more, I would learn to manifest more and work with that more. You can do a lot more with that than a lot of people will say. Is one thing I'm saying. And anything else for you? Because I was getting one thing, and then I got the card kind of like went a different direction. So anything about your spirituality? One thing I was hearing was that you are elevating. I feel like it might be, I'm not saying it's always going to be slow, but it might be slowly, but it can be a little, not always for everyone all the time, but sometimes when we start elevating, it can be a bit disconcerting. I feel like if you feel like things are just different, or you're like, I feel weird, a lot of it's you elevating is one thing I want to say to you, okay, Heavenly Angel. That's one thing I want to say. I feel like you are also becoming more heart-centered. They're pointing my eyes to this heart, and that's what they said, is she's becoming more heart-centered. And that's a very good direction to go, of course. One thing they're also saying is like use your spirituality to fuel your life. So what does that even mean, guys? Spirituality. Give me the answer, please. I feel like, and there's nothing wrong with this, at all. And sometimes it can be a mixture between these two. I feel like one thing that they're saying is like you might have been fueled like by, not totally, but by physical things in the past. And I feel like you're coming to this place where things are fueled more like by, or you will, like, what does my divine guidance say? Or what does the universe think is best for me to do right now? Like, it's like, your life gets fueled more by your spiritual factors than perhaps by like physical things is one thing I'm saying. And like more than ever before is something they're saying. So you might already be like that. I'm not trying to say like, look at you, you're worried about physical things, because like we're all incarnate and like there's a certain physical aspect to all of our lives. I think you can all you can all hopefully agree. And sure, you can argue it's all energy. I get that, and I know what you're saying too. Like, yes, you can have a very big impact, like a total impact on the physical through intention and through manifestation and through the energetic as well. I get that. At the same time, like, don't ignore your physical life, but I feel like you're going to be fueled more by spirituality. That's one thing I get as well. And they keep saying go big, and I feel like that's a message you'll understand. What does go big even mean for you? I would almost like dive headlong into spirituality. I feel like you're kind of meant for it. I feel like you have the capacity. I feel like you might have the capacity to be big in this sort of work is something they're saying. So very cool. I hope that makes sense to you and resonates. By the way, thanks everyone for the gifts. I'm not trying to make this a competition, but I'm very grateful to everyone who gave me the gifts. I know they're showing me numbers at the top now, but I just want to say I'm grateful for everyone who's been gifting me and just say thank you. I know I'm not really asking for it, so I know you guys just do it out of the goodness of your hearts, and I really am grateful for that. Is something I want to say really quickly. Haley 44444. Just asking, do I have a spirit animal? If so, what is it? Always wanted to know. Multiple is one thing I'd say. They're showing me a couple one. They're showing me crow was one that they're showing me as a spirit animal. And one thing I'm hearing about crow is it helps you avoid danger. Like I kind of see a crow whispering in your ear, but crows can also be a signifier of magic. Is something. Also, dragon was a spirit animal I saw for you, was the first one showing up for you. Which is really cool. I love dragon spirit animal. I have a dragon totem animal, and I work with dragons as well. I love dragons, so very cool. Very, very important and potent spirit animal to have. I feel like it's an important time for you, Haley, also. That's one thing they're saying, at least spiritually, so that makes sense. Any other spirit animals? They're showing me like this like praying mantis or like grasshopper, like it's like kind of a green. It's more like a tandem duo almost. And like the thing they're saying with grasshopper is if you take a leap, you actually have wings to go further. So you won't leap in the wrong way, and you can always kind of redirect in midair. And praying mantis was interesting. I haven't really seen praying mantis as a spirit animal for people before, but what does it mean? I get like a couple things. Like patience was a word that kept coming through. I don't know if praying mantis are patient animals, but I feel like they kind of wait for the right moment to like, bah, and then they kind of pray. But I feel like it's striking really quickly. Is one thing they're talking about, because I do feel like praying mantis have ability to like they're still and they're moving and they're like bam. So that's the one thing I'm getting as well. Is just quick movement when you need it. So but I would also look some of those up if those resonate for you, if you've been seeing signs about them, and just look up some of their deeper meaning as well and see if anything else resonates for you. You're welcome, Haley. I love talking about spirit animals. You want a dragon tattoo, right? So so fun. Yes, I do. I haven't. Maybe I should just do that. Maybe I should gift that to myself. I've been very like I feel like I have the money for it, but I've been very I've been holding back on what am I trying to say here? I'm not spending a ton of money right now, but I also just, yes, do it. Maybe I will. It's my birthday soon. I'll just, happy birthday, me. We'll see. Dragons are so cool. Yeah, I agree. 111 views and then disappeared. What? Yep, I feel like that was just a sign for you, Deja. Let's see. Next question. Jenny Dean Spy. Hello, and it is good to see you. How are you? Any messages from my spirit guides? Let's see. I feel like miracles are coming, Jenny Jean Spy. one thing they were talking about, sorry, no, I got sidetracked by a memory. So give me 1 second here, because they were showing me stuff, and then, so Our Lady of Manifest Miracles. The first thing I heard was miracles are coming. So what else is the message for you regarding this? If you've been doing the work, like self-healing or doing the work, I would keep doing the work, because that can be what allows the miracles to manifest, if that makes sense. I feel like you're also hitting another level. Our Lady of the Inner Gate popped out here, and they showed me you hitting another level. It was a bit internal the way that they just showed sometimes the intuitive visuals I see are like, I understand exactly what they mean because the energy and the knowing of what they mean is with me or comes with the visual. But when I try to describe the visual, it's just like, how do I describe that? But pretty much what they were saying was like, I do see like you hitting the next level, but it was almost like internal. Like I feel like there's like mental realizations and like just certain shifts where like you can kind of release certain ideas or beliefs that don't serve you. I feel like there's a lot of that coming in, and it's almost like a healing, but I feel like it's more cognitive, interestingly enough. Like you're finally able to shift out of certain thought patterns or like beliefs that haven't served you, if that makes sense. They're showing me like the crescent moon, so what's that about? Guys, I feel like right now must be a good time to manifest for whatever reason, because I feel like for you as well, I get the message like it'd be a good to manifest, and the abundant garden is popping out, which is definitely a card of abundance. I feel like any guided meditations related to abundance would be a good idea right now for you, Jenny Jean Spy, just to help manifest it. I feel like things are gonna start blossoming in your life. That might be like next year you're really seeing that and more of the fruits and receiving from that, I guess you could say, like harvest. But that's something they're saying as well. And in a lot of ways I would stay the course. And they're pointing my eyes to this thing down here, and I don't know what this is. It's very hard to like discern exactly what it is, but it looks like the Buddha out of the corner of my eye before I looked at it. And a lot of the times for me, when I look at something and it looks like something different, and then I look at it and it's like, and then I see what it actually is. The thing I thought it was, it's very like, it's almost like an intuitive visual, like overlaid on my vision. I know what that looks like because I've been doing it for a while. I'm sure anyone else who gets that knows what that looks like as well. But they showed the Buddha, and so what is the Buddha about? I feel like now is a good time to cultivate your inner wisdom, is one thing they're saying. But they're also talking about peace. So a lot of the qualities the Buddha stands for, like they're giving me the words like peace, compassion, and things like that. So I would definitely cultivate your inner Buddha in a way, if that makes sense. Like I get the word calm as well. So what else for you about that? I feel like the more you're taking, within reason and as fits with your life, time and space to like cultivate that, the better, is also what I get, Jenny Jean Spy. I hope all that helps and makes sense and resonates. But those are the messages I get for you today. Sorry, Moon Girl. Hey, how are you doing? How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a second. Wonderland, when will I get over my first love? One thing they want to say is it's okay if it takes time. Because you won't be stuck with it forever, if that makes sense. What's the message? I feel like you're still healing from it, whatever went down with all of that. I feel like here's the message I got. The more you experience real love in your life, the less you'll be into that person, if that makes sense. And I feel like you've experienced doses of real love, if that makes sense, or like genuine, like caring, unconditional love. But I don't know if you've had the full experience yet, to the degree that you want, if that makes sense. So take as much time as you need now. When you're ready, I would start putting yourself out there for love again. I I feel like you'll have someone show up, at least eventually, that and Blessing of Bestowed popping out as I open the cards randomly while I'm talking here. Our Lady of Blessing Bestowed. I feel like someone will come around that kind of wipes that, you know, it just kind of has you forget about the first love, because it's just so much better in every way. That's one thing I'm getting. So I hope that helps. And I'm not always saying you need love to heal old love, but that's just what they said for you in your scenario. So hope that helps. Next question. Hope everyone's having a good day, by the way. All right, sorry, I'm taking a quick tea break, I guess. Okay. Okay. Rue Ellen asked, are Kate, Gemini, and I, Ruth, Aquarius, soulmates? It's not necessarily soulmates. I get, weirdly enough, I get like it's more of that twin flame energy or soul connection energy. But I get no for soulmates, oddly enough. And it doesn't mean that's your person forever and ever and ever and ever and ever again. I just want to lay that disclaimer down. But there's definitely something there, is what I'd say, Rue Ellen. It's not in your head. Hope that helps. Willow Child, can I trust in my current art project? Excuse me. So in the way that you mean, can you trust in your current art project? Can you trust in your current... And the way that Willow Child means, can she trust in her current art project? Can she trust in her current art project? I get yes overall. Maybe there are a few small adjustments you'll need to make, but I feel like you can trust it, yes. And that might be one where I'd want a bit. I don't. Am I answering the full scenario with that question? There might be more detail I'm not hitting on regarding that question. I don't. It is one thing I'm saying, but my body pendulum swinging to yes to this question. So I don't know if you'll want to rephrase it in a different way, or ask a different question around the situation if you don't feel like that. Answers the question totally is one thing I want to say. What's her name? Caitlin. Will I have a new relationship this fall? You might have the seeds of one, is what they're showing me. Like you might meet someone and talk, and start moving that direction. Will it be a full-blown relationship by the fall? It might happen, but I don't feel like it's likely. But they're giving me they showed me seeds, and then they kept yelling seeds after I said what I just said. So I'd say like it's kind of like what I said. I feel like winter to spring are more promising is one thing I'd say. What's her name? But keep putting yourself out there. I would definitely not give up on love. It is coming. And you won't have to be super patient. Like, I don't think you're going to be waiting like a year, you know. That's what I get. I hope that helps. Next question. Oh, okay. Sorry, I try to answer as many questions as I can. What can I do differently for the greatest good? Jenny Jean Spy. Right now, what I hear is like self-elevation or furthering your self-elevation. I think I just said something to you similarly about this with the cards I was getting, where you were like, or was that someone else I was talking to? I feel like the more you're working on you right now, Jenny Jean Spy, the more the world around you is going to shift, is one thing I'm hearing. for you. And so that's I'm not saying you don't work on yourself. I'd say like go deeper with it is one thing I'm saying. I hope that helps, Jenny Jean Spy. No, okay, there's more to that answer. What more do you want to add to that answer? One thing they're saying is building abundance can actually help the world. Is one thing they're saying. So when you build your own abundance, one, you show it's possible to other people to build abundance. Two, like you have more to give, and so you, like as you feel called, you can start to work with your abundance in ways that are balanced and aren't just like throwing it away to help others in the world around you. So you might also want to look into cultivating abundance as well. Nathalio 72 asks, will I find a new home? Yes, you will. I don't know if there was a time frame you were trying to ask about or like a specific scenario you were asking about. I feel like there was, but will you find a new home? I mean, yes, you will. I don't feel like you're stuck where you are forever. I feel like one thing they want to say is you'll find a new home in time. So if there's a time limit, I feel like you will find a new home in time. It might be miraculous how it shows up because Our Lady of Miracles popping out again in this card deck. And I might shuffle this deck really quickly. But I hope that helps. Lyndon, do you have any animal friends? I have my spirit animal friends. I can't have pets in my apartment, so I don't necessarily have pets. Pretty much, I've thought about getting a cat at some point. Though at one point, I'll talk about it really quickly, brief story time. Because I lived with my ex for a while, and she had this cat. And this, there were so many just issues with this cat. It's almost kind of funny when you look back at it. Because like this cat, like, one, I don't need to unpack the whole story because there was a lot that happened, but like this, I moved to North Carolina to be with this girl that I'd known for a while, and we'd been dating long distance for a bit, and she needed to move out of this like situation she was living in because she got herself in this just like weirdest like situation where she was kind of like stuck and trapped, and like she was living with this family, and they were paying her like phone bill and her car. And they were like, oh, you're part of the family. But it was also like, she was like 22. This was a few years ago. But they were also like treating her like she was 16. And she's like, oh yeah, you can't spend the night at Brandon's place. And oh yeah, where your headrest is where you live. You can't be seeing Brandon. But they also paid for her everything because like it was like an apothecary business and they hired her. Super weird and almost a little cult-like. It was so weird. But then like she didn't want to move in with me because like, and she did want to move in with me and we did end up moving in together, but she had a cat and the place I lived at the time in North Carolina didn't allow pets. And so, so I was like a little frustrated because she wouldn't give up the cat. I'm like, okay, like you're in this really not good situation. You feel uncomfortable. It's really weird. They're treating you like you're 16. You're keeping yourself stuck because you don't want to like at least have your cat with like your mom or something temporarily. So I was getting a little frustrated there. And then the cat had like, it turned into a whole thing. The cat had like fleas, and then our where we lived together after that, because she got a place and then I moved in with her at a certain point. It got fleas, and it was the worst week of like, it was just one of the most frustrating weeks of my life because it was just like the whole place was just fleas everywhere. And eventually we got some of that flea spray, and like we were very much like, we don't want to hurt bugs and animals, but we also don't want to live in agony the rest of our lives. So we got the flea spray and that took care of it. And then this cat just decided it wanted to pee and poop in the corner and not in its litter box. And I was like, dude, what is with this cat? And the cat was cool otherwise. Like I actually attuned it to like some, like an energy work modality. So it would like lay on me and like send me like energy work, which works. It was really funny. But then it would just go and like pee in the corner. I'm like, dude, what is your deal? So that's like why I have had dogs and stuff growing up. I think you should buy a camper and get a golden retriever. That's, you know what? That sounds okay. I would be okay with that. Dogs are a very high maintenance. That's one thing about me is I like to be able to just do my thing. And so when I don't mind pets, actually, I do love pets whenever they're actually there. I'm like, okay, I like you. You're cool. But like when I think about like, I'm not saying I'm that guy, but maybe I would end up being that dad that's like, let's never get a dog, and then like we get a dog, and then like I'd like be the dog's best friend, you know. So sorry. So that was story time. That's a bit about. So I'm almost like for that reason, like I'm sure I could check in like with my guys and be like, would it be for the high schedule for me to get that cat? And they'd be like, yeah, they'll be chill and you won't have that issue. I'd be like, okay. But on the human, on like the human level, I'm still like I'm a little wary after some of those experiences. But I mean, childhood dogs, I loved all my childhood dogs growing up, and they were good. But sorry, I digress. Hope that was fun for you guys watching. Anyways, back to the Q&A channel day. And someone mentioned, I think it was Prince Priestess mentioned doing like a live that's just a hangout and we can all hang out. And I might do something like that at some point, and I can, if you guys want to just hang out and chat about story time, we can do that. But back to Q&A channel day. Should I work with Isabel Frankie for Reiki? Overall, yes. One thing they're talking about Reiki, ATTOM, I don't at the moment. Should I work? I get overall yes. I would make sure you retain your autonomy, and just go with what's feeling right for you and what intuitively feels true for you. Regarding any like concepts is something I'd say, but yes, I feel like it's a good idea overall, if that makes sense. Hopefully that's what I get. I hope that makes sense for the situation and resonates. Lori 711 received a blessing yesterday. Meet with VP tomorrow. Awesome. Any messages from Spirit? That's fantastic. Like the Vice President of the U.S. Or I almost want more details because I'm very, like the first thing they're saying is like definitely follow your heart in that meeting and like speak from that place. I feel like you'll be good. And you can also pray for the universe or source to guide you through that meeting and ask the angels to be present with you and just like ask that the highest and best outcomes know of the company. Okay, cool. I was like, wow. Thanks, Esme. So of the company. So in a lot of ways, like I think in a balanced professional manner, pour your heart out is one thing I'd say as advice, Lori. But they're also saying like definitely like invite like the angels for the highest good invite the angels, invite the archangels, invite source to be with you, invite all the energetic and divine support that would be for the highest good to be with you to that meeting and just see like what happens when you do that. I feel like it will overall go well for the most part. I feel like you'll do great on your part though, honestly, Lori. I hope that helps to make sense. Sherry, I'm having a really hard time at the moment. Will it get better? I get yes, it will get better. You're welcome, Lori. I'm having a really hard time at the moment. Will it get better? I get yes overall. Thanks for the pearl, Lori. Yeah, I don't know if your VP is hard to please, but I feel like you'll do great with that combo. It will get better. By the way, shoot, I lost the question. Where are you at, friend? Sherry D. Yeah. So what's going on with your situation? I mean, yes, it will get better. I feel like you're growing stronger, but life won't always be this difficult. Is one thing they're saying, Sherry D. I feel like you will grow beyond these experiences, whatever it is. That's just those are the words they're giving me, feeding me, to relay to you. So anything else for Sherry D regarding the situation? One thing they're saying is like be patient and like be like faithful. Like you're gonna be pulled right out of it. In the visual, they're showing the visual of like just again a visual that's not easy to describe, but it's almost like if you're in water, like it's like they just pull the universe just pulls you right out of the water is pretty much the visual I get. So I feel like might not be right away, but I would also like ask in like for things to get better. Like write a letter to the universe, like universe, I am demanding, I'm asking that things get better. You know, please, you know, whoever you work with, your spirit guides, angels, source, pray and ask that the obstacles to things getting better are removed. Ask that the lessons you need to learn are learned with ease and grace. And like ask for elevation like out of that situation is pretty much what I'd recommend. Or sometimes you can manifest. Like I remember one time I was going through a really difficult phase, and I was just like, oh my God. And some of you who have been around might have heard me tell this story before, but still a good one for anyone new. What happened was I just wrote down, I demand that everything gets better, like things improve. And there's this modality called access consciousness, and they have a clearing statement. So one thing they'll, in the book being You Changing the World Is Now the Time, one I'll frequently recommend if you're curious about that modality, but one of the tools they have is this clearing statement. And so what they kind of purport, and in my experience I've gotten this to work quite frequently, is like you ask for something and then you use the clearing statement. So I'd be like, what I demand my life gets better, anything not allowing that to show up for me, I'd run the access consciousness clearing statement. I am, create and destroy, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So pretty much you're eliminating everything in the way of things getting better. And it's like a consciousness based energy work kind of tool that you can use. And there's more than one way. I'm not saying that's the only way to do this, but that's what I used at the time. And then, you know, it took a second, but a couple weeks later, I was like, okay, I have some breathing room. Things are okay. I'm not suffering. Like this is bearable at the very least. And then I was able to get to a better place from there. So that's one thing that I recommend as well. Don't forget to hydrate. Thank you, Southpaw. Yeah, that's, yeah. I haven't hydrated yet this life, have I? Okay, thank you for the roses. Was that Summy444? Yeah, thank you. Love your coffee cup. This guy? Thank you. Got it on Amazon. It's on sale. Hey, Healing Journey Candles, how are you? So next question here. I'm gonna go. So I'm bouncing back between the chat and the Q&A. So I will try to get to some older questions here, guys. I pretty much just try to answer the questions I'm guided to answer. Will I be able to get to everyone? No. I've gone on these lives for 4 hours and I still don't get to everybody. So, but I'll do as much as I can and everything I'm guided to do here. And fully for the highest good. Okay. Dan5063, does Spirit want to tell me anything? I would go bigger in life, as they gave me the message, go big. So I would go bigger in life. They are recommending you follow your dreams, honestly. And they're kind of saying, like, don't get gassed up to not do anything. There's this one dude, Gary V, or Gary Vaynerchuk, and he owns this company called Vayner Media. And but he has some really interesting things when it comes to social media and business, and I like a lot of what he says because it comes from this place of like be authentic. Like I feel like he keeps it real, and I'm not saying he's like my go-to for. He's not my go-to for like intuition or spirituality, but I feel like he can be a pretty intuitive dude. That being said, he says this thing, or he said this quote a lot throughout the years, where he's like. He tells people like stop hanging around your friends like gassing each other up not to do anything in life, or it's just like you're just I don't know, drinking beer, smoking cigars, playing poker, not doing anything that you want to do with your life. I would stay away from an energy of not doing anything is pretty much what they're saying. And again, they kind of just flash that Gary Vaynerchuk, the visual of him saying that in my visuals. So we have me relay that message to you. Excuse me. Also, I just looked at the bottom of the deck, and Our Lady of Answered Prayers is on the bottom of this deck. I feel like things you've been praying about will resolve if you've been praying about anything. Okay, Our Lady of Starting Over. It's okay to kind of like start with the drawing board or wipe the slate clean. It's okay to start over is one thing they're saying. So what else is this card saying for you? I don't feel like you'll have to start over totally. I feel like there's a foundation you can build off of. But if you get to a point where you feel like you need to build another life, that's not a bad option. That's something they're saying. I feel like your life is good as it is, but if you find yourself at any point building from the ground up, I feel like it's worth it for whatever reason, or if it's a new project you're building from the ground up, that's some of it. And one thing they want to say, like Our Lady of Innocence coming out here, this is the Mother Mary Oracle card deck, by the way, for anyone wondering. You've been innocent in a lot of your interactions. Maybe not all, and like I get that, but I don't feel like you've blatantly harmed people recently. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you know your path, of course, as well. But I would try not to beat yourself up. Because I feel like in a lot of ways you're innocent in a lot of your endeavors. Interesting message, but that's what they want to say. And I tried to pick up the deck and this card got left behind, Our Lady of the Abundant Garden. I feel like that's what's coming. But I feel like you kind of need to hold faith at this time and like keep forging ahead. And they're kind of showing me, I didn't pull the Hermit card, but they're showing me in my visuals, the intuitive visuals, the Hermit card. Hermit card. And they're kind of giving the message like keep forging ahead, because like the Hermit is kind of like on the card traditionally is like alone on this mountain. He has this lantern and he's kind of just like he's either at a mountaintop or in the visual he's like forging ahead and moving forward on the card image, excuse me. And it's like it's okay if you're alone for some time. I don't feel like you totally will be, honestly. It's like one of the messages, it's better to be alone and in the right space and in the right headspace than it is to be with the wrong people and miserable, is something they're saying. But I don't feel like you're going to be alone, honestly, as another thing I'm reading. So I hope that helps, Dan. I feel like you're on the right track, but if things feel like discombobulated in the future at all, because like they're showing me these train tracks and you're going, and there's a lot, the train tracks just go like, woo, like a squiggly line. I feel like as long as you keep forging ahead, you'll be fine, is something they're saying. So don't worry and don't get discouraged. I feel like any setbacks are temporary as well. I hope that helps, Dan, and I hope you have a great day. Whose birthday is September 1st? Any upcoming? Oh, Phoenix Rising, 1111. Deja, no, your mother won't end up disowning you in the future. She'll get frustrated, but I don't think she'll disown you, honestly. I don't know if she could actually do it, honestly. I'm not giving you free rein to just, you know what I mean. It would take a lot for her to do that. And I don't feel like you've quite crossed that threshold. Okay. Sorry, I was looking for, well, Phoenix Rising. Yeah, happy birthday. I'll do Phoenix Rising here, and then we'll get to the next question here. Any upcoming blessings? Okay, I want me to pull a tarot card. So King of Cups came out here. The words they gave me were emotional fulfillment with this card. Okay, Nine of Pentacles. Some readers will call that pre-Empress energy. So like stability, or just feeling like good, sitting pretty, feeling good with your finances is typically what that cards mean. I think feeling more stable is kind of the message though, as well as emotional fulfillment. So I'd say those things. So is this a person coming in for Phoenix Rising now? I feel like you will have people coming in that will better your life. I feel like that's in like all facets. I think that's like online, like on YouTube, like maybe there's a spiritual teacher. I'm not saying it's me. I'm just saying the words they're feeding me. That like will help you better your life. I feel like there'll be like friends and family that will want to celebrate you more than usual. I don't think I'm saying that just because it's your birthday. I also see this blessing of realizing people care about you is something they're saying as well. And feeling happy with the people around you. That's another message they're saying. Anything else for you? What other blessings for Phoenix Rising? So it's funny because I just flipped open. So this Ten of Wands, I feel like burdens, or like any heavy burdens, is turning upside down, which is a good thing because this is usually a card of burdens. I feel like one thing, a blessing coming in, is you're going to realize you don't have to carry as much as you have been. Also, Page of Cups, I think, is funny because it came out after the King of Cups. And I get the words more opportunity with this Page of Cups, but it might be like a limited time offer where you kind of have to jump on it. So that's what I get with that. As far as blessings coming up, I'll pull another Mary card. And also feeling at home, Our Lady of the Sacred Hearth. And they just said feeling at home. So that's another blessing coming in. Hope that helps. Phoenix Rising, happy almost birthday. Next question. Go on. Any guidance regarding my job sequence? So the first thing I hear is persistence pays off. It might sound like a bit of a blatant answer, but sometimes the answers are like that. Thank you, Phoenix Rising. Any guidance regarding my job seeking? Persistence pays off. I would also try it. I'm not saying only do this, but one thing you might want to mix in with your job seeking is try to go for like higher positions than you normally would. And like if you're not really at a point to be CEO, maybe don't go for CEO, but maybe go for like a management position instead of like entry level. Just try it with some of the opportunities you come across and see if that works out for you. It's like I would try like the way I'd express it is like try going for the next level from where you're at. Instead of necessarily like the same level, and see, and I'm not saying exclusively do that, but mix that into your job search and see if anything happens with that, because you might surprise yourself. But you will have a job. It will be in time, and it might even feel like it's just in the nick of time, but if you're in a good situation, you don't need a job, don't worry about that. But I feel like in time you'll have a job. I feel like it'll be pretty smooth. And I feel like you'll get the right one as well. I don't feel like this will be a super, unless it's just like I don't feel like it's going to be a super temporary job. It might be more of like a longer term thing for a bit. And I'm not, of course, like, is a job really permanent? Because we all get to an age at some point where we hopefully don't work a job. But that's a lot of what I get, Gwen, and I hope that helps. I feel like you're being guided in the right ways as well. Something they're saying. Hope that helps. Bernadine 7, please. Any word for me? Had 6-year relationship. He just disappeared. No closure. Yeah. Some things I get. Like, take as much. One second here. Okay, so one thing for you, I would take as much time to grieve as you need to. One thing they're saying is like you don't necessarily need the closure to move on. in some ways they're saying like he wasn't right for you, and it stinks that it ended that way, because it's kind of like dude, like it's been 6 years, like what happened? And like in some ways it wasn't your fault. Like yes, it can take two to tango is one of the quotes that they're kind of bringing up, and like sure, there's things you can think back on and be like, what did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? At the end of the day, like that was his choice he made, and he could have been a lot more mature about handling the situation. It is something I'd say. Is he okay? I feel like he's dealing with a lot, honestly. I don't know if I'd say he's like okay based on what I'm getting, but yeah. G Salt Rocks, I feel like you'll probably get something better than you think you will. So like, thanks for the flowers, Shamika. I'm trying to find that question I was answering really quickly because I can't remember. Okay, Bernadine. You might have to heal without the closure, Bernadine. Totally possible. I feel like you're going to have a lot more clarity, though, forthcoming. And it doesn't necessarily have to be through me, but through just readings, through other people, through hearing things through the grapevine. I feel like the universe is going to bring you more like clarity on the situation where, and you might be upset, honestly, but overall, I feel like, and you might not feel the same way right now, and I understand. Overall, what I get is it's better that you're not with him or will be going forward. I feel like you needed someone else anyways, and it's tough. I'm not saying that to be heartless, because I understand like that's painful, especially if you, it can be painful and confusing. But I do get the message all will be well. It just might take a second to get there, is what I'm getting, and I hope that helps. And it's not your fault he left. They really want to like bring that to you. I feel like for the most part you did the best you could. That's some of the messages I'm getting on the situation, though. I hope that helps. I'm gonna take a quick sip of my Brad Kerwood. Will my ex-husband and I reconcile? I get that that's not likely, maybe not to the degree you want, at least, unfortunately. I would probably look into moving on based on what I get. I hope that helps, Brad Kerwood. And I'm sorry if that's not the answer you wanted to hear. I understand. Deja, you might have to try and find an easier job, unfortunately. Like, unless you're, like, if you were making income from, you're welcome, Bernadine. If you were making income from somewhere else that wasn't a job, probably okay. But if you could find an easier job and switch jobs, that hopefully that would help solve some of the issue there. Here's the message I get, Deja. Like, I don't know if your mom would really budge unless she saw you really struggling. And I'm not saying to struggle on purpose so your mom budges on it. That's just the message I get. I would kind of do the best you can and let the cards fall where they may. And look for something else if you can, if the job is a challenge. Because it might be stressful, is something I'm hearing, and I don't think... It'd be better if it wasn't as stressful, is what I'm getting. I hope that helps. It makes sense, Deja. Illuminate your path. What do I need to know from my spirit guides? Interesting message. They're like, build a fire, but it's a fire within you. So what does that mean for illuminate your path? I feel like now is a great time to be artistic and cultivate your passions, honestly, and be more passionate if you can, or like fill your life with things that light you up. I feel like life is too short to like always be dull or boring is something they're saying. I don't know if that's necessarily your life, but that's just a message they want to bring through for you. I feel like you're becoming almost brand new, which is interesting. What does that mean? Because that message has been coming through for people pretty consistently in this time period. It's like you're kind of becoming someone you haven't been before. You might even be hitting this phase where you're like, who am I at a certain point? But what else is going on there? Also, this has been going around a lot, is you are evolving is one thing they want to say. And again, like they're talking about manifesting, like wish upon a star. There's stars on, this cloak here. And this card popped out, Our Lady Who Prevents Interference. And I thought that was a very interesting one. So what is that about? I feel like you're being shielded from things that would hinder your soul growth, if that makes sense. So if something's not right for you, it's pretty much just not going to work out, if that makes sense. But also, they're pointing my eyes to this like apple tree and this card, and they're saying you're going to have all that you need as well. Because orchards can symbolize abundance and stuff like that. But the message they wanted to provide was that. Anything else regarding this card? I would definitely pay attention to flowers as a sign for you, like different colors of roses or daisies, daffodils, pretty much any flower if it holds a meaning to you. If you feel like a particular flower is showing up a lot, I would definitely pay attention to that and look up the meanings and see if the universe is speaking to you through flowers. Anything else? I feel like you're on the right track for the most part. And like with the moon card popping out here, I would keep pushing through. Any phases of like confusion or like any kind of stuckness, not gonna last. And again, like talking about your passions and cultivating passions, Ace of Wands popping out here. And then, the Tower did pop out here. But I feel like this is actually a good thing. I don't know if y'all like all of it, but it's actually like leading to better, and it won't be devastating. There's something they're saying as well with that card. It's kind of like you might have some realizations or flashes of inspiration that are leading you to a better future, is pretty much what I'm hearing. Bottom card of the deck is Queen of Swords. They're giving me the words be discerning with Queen of Swords as well for you, illuminate your path. Okay, there's like a few things they're pointing my eyes to on this card that I'm very interested in. I feel like you have clarity, and like as some readers will read this card, like the head of the Queen of Swords in the court deck is above the clouds, so she has clarity, she can see clearly. The other thing I'm getting, they're pointing my eyes to this like prayer, it's almost like a prayer bracelet on her wrist here. And so like it reminds me of this Tibetan, I think it's in a yoga practice where you'll have a certain bracelet around your wrist, and then when you've learned the lesson or got what you need associated with it, it breaks and you've hit a new like level. I'm getting something like that. You might have something like that coming into your life where or a bracelet like that might be a good idea, where you just buy a piece of like jewelry, like it's like Tibetan prayer beads or something, and then like when they break, it's like either setting an intention with it. I just feel like something like that would is either coming in, or you'll have something like that going on where you have like a piece of jewelry, and then like when it breaks, you got what you needed from it, and then you can bury it in the earth or do whatever you're supposed to do with it. But I'd pay attention to that concept. I feel like there's something there for you with that. And like with this butterfly crown, they just pointed my eyes to this Queen of Swords crown, and it looks like it's made out of butterflies. I don't know if you can see that on the camera there, but they're also saying you're evolving into more, if that makes sense. So keep an eye out for that. I feel like it's just like you're becoming more than you dreamed. I feel like that's more spiritually though, so I would pay attention to spiritual evolution. And also Magician, they're saying don't be afraid to become who you want to be. So I hope that helps illuminate your path. That's a lot of the messages I'm getting for you. I hope that that helps for you. It's amazing that you picked up on that, Deja. Oh, is that about your job? Yeah. Shell, I don't get that those calls are from either of those people. It's okay if you answer them, but I don't think it's them. No, the cards. Oh, the bracelet and stuff. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Deja. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. They just pointed my eyes to those things, and that's what they wanted to say. So, yes, it helps. Thank you. You're welcome, Illuminate Your Path. I'm grateful. It helps. Absolutely. So, let's... I get yes. They're channeling that night for my coworkers. I feel like you're definitely in like the beginning phases of starting to do that more, Deja, which is cool. I find that interesting. Next question. Dun, 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 dun. Mylan, will I get into the school I want? I feel like, I don't know if you'll get into the school you want. I feel like you'll get into a school that you want. Yeah, Deja, absolutely. Heck yeah. Take it a little bit slow. But I feel like you'll get there. Anyways, Mylan, will I get into the school I want? I feel like you'll get like the runner-up or like a school you want, but maybe not the school you want. Probably for the better, honestly. I feel like you'll get the one that's best for you is what I want to say based on what they're telling me. That's what they're saying. So I hope that helps out for you. Sorry, I'm listening to my guides here. Bone Skeletto, what do I need to hear right now, you ask? Well, let's see. You might have a project that you're starting over. Our Lady of Starting Over popping out yet again. And they started singing this song that was about starting over. So, anyways, what else do you need to hear right now? And again, Our Lady of New Vision. So I guess that kind of like those cards together really kind of paint a certain picture here. Anyways, so I feel like with those cards coming out, definitely like starting over, building the new, maybe not starting from scratch, but building a new vision here, going in a new direction. Don't be afraid to start over, Bone Skeletto. I feel like it will lead, blessings bestowed popping out as I say that, it will lead to a blessing. In a lot of ways, you're on the right track. Try not to let people pull you off of like your vision is something I also want to say. Like if suddenly get like a dream or a goal and you're going for it and you're on track, like don't let people like your parents or anyone like nudge you off that track if it's not where you want to go. Because I don't feel like you'll be as happy if it's not what you want to do, if that makes sense, Bone Skeletto. Keep that in mind. And I feel like you can be successful with what you want to do is something they're saying as well. And the Emperor popping out as well, so I would say that's a confirmation. I would also try not to get too stuck in old ways is something they're saying. I would try to evolve and like try new things and like taste new things in life, and see if there's anything new that calls to you as well. A lot of this phase is also what they're saying is getting clear on what you want. And this is where you're headed. Six of Wands, victory, public recognition. So some type of victory, I feel like, is where you're headed. And again, 10 of Wands popping out for you as well. I would try to release any unnecessary burdens or anywhere you feel stuck. I think like, especially if it's other stuff. And I feel like you're going to be walking away from a few things. Five of Cups. I know Five of Cups isn't necessarily about walking away, but they said walk away when I pulled this card out. So that's what I get. I feel like you're going to be walking away from what doesn't work and what doesn't serve you, and you're going to be going to better, is pretty much what I'm getting with that card. So that's it. I hope that helps, Bone Skeleto. I hope that brought some messages that are helpful for you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Anna Fig, can I have a reading about my marriage? Yeah, I get yes. They wanted me to do a reading for you regarding that. So what would be the highest and best advice for Anna regarding her marriage? For some reason, unless if there's abuse, yes, leave, of course. But I'm getting to stay if that's not the case. And I wonder what that's about. Oh my gosh, sorry, give me 1 second to get the information. I'm gonna take a quick water break. I need 1 second here to kind of reground and regroup before I get into this. So, what would be the highest and best advice for her regarding her marriage? What's going on with the marriage? That's weird. I keep hearing like you need to stay for some reason. So I'm gonna pull 3 cards. 3 cards, past, present, future for the marriage. Top 3. Okay. I feel like it's possible to work things out. Anna, is he cheating on you? I don't feel like he's really currently cheating on you, if that makes sense. Like the cards I'm pulling for the marriage all seem relatively positive. Like we have Knight of Cups, we have King of Cups, and then like 4 of Wands. I'm gonna get a card for the underlying energies as well, because I'm get Page of Cups. What's up with all the cups? I feel like if you stay, it gets better, is something I'm getting, Anna. It might be a rough spot or a rough patch. But I would, unless it's just like irreconcilable, unless it's like, no, I'm being abused, unless it's just like awful, I would try to work things out. Is he doing his best? I feel like he's doing his best is one thing I'm hearing, which is really interesting. But it's like 4 of Wands is actually like, it's like a card of like celebration. It's a card of like marriage. It's a card of, some people read it as a twin flame card. I don't feel like you and him are twin flames though, but it's also like a finish line as well. I would try to stay married. Like I'm not, so what's the Knight of Cups about in the past? I feel like that's when it began, was like, cause that's usually like a love offer. I feel like you both are kind of hitting each other's pain points as well, as something I'm hearing, and kind of like pinging each other in uncomfortable ways. I just feel like it's worth working through. I don't understand what, I don't feel like I'm getting as much information as I typically do, which is weird for me. I don't feel like I'm getting, so I'm getting things like the card of like Our Lady of Abundant Garden. So this is a really interesting reading. I feel like, okay, no, I'm seeing it more. So we have Our Lady of Peaceful Change and Our Lady of Ocean of Rebirth. And like usually the information just drops in, so I find this very interesting. I feel like the relationship is shifting. It's been a certain way for a long time, but I feel like he's changing. I don't know if you're ready for him to change. I feel like you're shifting as well, though. I feel like you guys can keep working things out. I mean, are you guys gonna be staying married much longer? I feel like if you stay, you're gonna stay married for a while, and it might not be the perfect relationship. I do feel like it's a work in progress, and he might feel like he's a work in progress. But in some ways, I feel like it's worth waiting for. But I guess there's nothing wrong if you dip out either. I mean, it's just totally your choice. I hope that helped and made any sense. That was one of the weirdest live readings I've done. So I don't know what happened there, but I hope that resonated and made sense. Next question. Erica 1029 asked, will I make the right choice in love? I'm confused. I get yes. They're saying it's hard to mess it up. I feel like the universe will show you in no uncertain terms what the right choice is if you're paying attention to how people are treating you, is the message I get for you, Erica. But I get you won't mess up, honestly, is one thing I'm hearing. They're like, it's okay if you feel confused, do the best you can, you'll make the right choice. So, pretty positive there. Anna, does my husband love me? Yes, he can be a bit self-absorbed though, is something I'm getting as well. I feel like he's trying to love you, is one thing I'm getting. I don't feel like he's good at showing it, but he does actually love you, is what I get, Anna. Hopefully that brings more clarity to this situation, because it's very interesting attempt at, I don't know what happened with me there, but. Amanda Nicole 8787, guidance for your business. Again, like the message is go big. So what are more of the details on that? I feel like expansion might be required. Required is a tough word, but very highly recommended. It is like expansion. So it's like any way you can expand that you've been thinking of expanding, like product line, additional services, if it's a physical, I don't know if it's physical based, but new locations, getting it in front of new people. I feel like expansion is the key word. And anywhere you can try to expand into new audiences, I would definitely recommend that. I feel like I said that to you before, or it was someone else who was asking a similar question in one of these lives here, but I've done a lot of lives at this point, so what else? I'm gonna pull. Let's see what happens. I would also work in tandem with your powers of manifestation to invite in abundance. I feel like competition with the Five of Wands, something you can beat out. It's just, I almost get the message, don't worry about competition. I would really focus on like, how can you expand your offering with your business. The Empress did pop out, which is a very positive card, especially for business, because that's abundance, that's wealth, that's luxury, that's stability, that's fertility, that's creation and creativity as well. I feel like you're going to have this, honestly, Amanda Nicole, and I know that's not necessarily advice, but that's something they're saying as well with it. And if you can incorporate your story into your business, that might help sell as well. Is something they're talking about, where like and you might already do that, but hitting on the emotional point for humans might be helpful. And I realize when I start talking about marketing in readings, sometimes it starts to sound clinical, but I mean it in the best, most authentic and real ways possible when I say those types of things. It's like, be like authentic and share your story. But I feel like connecting with people is going to help your business, like in that way. And also Three of Wands popping out, and the message I get is like, don't wait. I feel like an imperfect action is better than like a perfect waiting, is something they're saying for this scenario, which is, so let me put that in words that make sense. I feel like imperfect action is better than not doing anything. If I were to translate that message into English, sorry, my guys didn't like that I said that. Sorry, guys. That's kind of what I get. Is like, take imperfect actions or small steps, even if you feel like nothing's working. Try like taking small steps anyways, because it will lead to like your ships coming in. Three of Wands can be a card of your ships coming in. That's another thing I get. So I hope that helps, Amanda Nicole. Any other advice? If something's just not working and not working and not working and not working and not working, that's when I would kind of try to switch it up and just kind of put the things not working to rest, if that makes sense. because there's something that will work instead. I hope that helps, Amanda Nicole. I hope that makes any sense to your situation, but that's what I get. J Molly, should I stay at my job or is it time to move on? You can stay for a bit. I feel like it is kind of getting time to move on, though. I wouldn't leave your job or jump ship before you have something else lined up, though. I feel like you're being led to better as well. You're welcome, Amanda Nicole. Hope that helped and made sense. Next question. Any heathen, is Alex my forever person? He's an aligned option for now. I get no as far as forever person. Like, was Tiny Heathen? Is Alex Tiny Heathen's life partner here? Here's the thing. It's like they can be, is the message I get. I don't feel like it's always going to be perfect. But you could make it work if that makes sense. So it's worth giving them a shot and like seeing where it goes. But I wouldn't put expectations of forever on it. Is something I'd also say as well. I'd be open to like take it day by day is something I'd say, because what else are they saying? They're saying no, not your forever person. But it's like someone who could be there for a long time is something I'm getting. Hope that makes sense. Still a good option is also what I'm hearing. Beautifully inspired. Am I on the right path? Yes, for the most part. I feel like there's still things coming together and you're still trying to make things click. But you're on the path to making things click, if that makes sense. And they're showing like a puzzle, and like the puzzle pieces aren't like clicking together, and it's like, but you're on the track to getting it where things start clicking together and falling into place more, is what I'd say. Beautifully inspired. You are on the right track. Anything else for you? I don't know why this message is so prevalent recently, guys, but don't play small, because they wanted to say this for you as well. Beautifully inspired. Thanks for the Rose, Texas Jess. Good to see you. Just don't play small. I would ask for more from the universe. The universe is infinitely abundant, infinitely capable of providing, is just infinite, infinitely wise, infinitely intelligent. So it always has a way of providing more. So for instance, like in case someone needs to hear this, what do you guys want to say? Like it's okay to ask for $10,000 a month instead of $2,000 if you're making $1,000, and you're like, oh, $2,000 a month would be so much better. Yes, it would. But why not ask for $10,000 and see what the universe does to bring that to you? Because there's always a way, is something they're saying. So I hope that helps and makes sense. Anything else for you regarding being on the right path? I feel like any internal work right now would get you more on the right path. So like any type of self-growing, any type of introspection, going within, any type of self-healing, I feel like that will just kind of get you more on like the higher path you dream about also, is something I'm hearing. And they're talking about as within, so without. The more you heal within and get to a better place, the easier it is for the outside to mirror that. And the other thing is, sometimes you can get to a really good place externally, and then you're like, oh, the inside, why am I still anxious? So then you can get to a good place externally, and then you still have to do some work anyways, as well, is something they also want to talk about. So that's what I get as well. Shamika, any guidance, any advice? First thing I want to say is don't make any rash decisions. I feel like in a lot of ways you're doing great. I feel like you're coming into who you are more, like day by day, and it's still a process and a journey, but it's happening, is something they're saying. Our Lady of Peaceful Change coming in here. I see transition that's peaceful. Now is a good time to make change, if that makes sense. And Our Lady of Blessing bestowed, popping out after I said that. So I feel like anywhere you're looking to make a change is going to lead to better. Highly encouraged. Let's see. There might be a lot of like upheaval, but it's good upheaval. I know it's more like I think it's things you've been actually wanting to happen, Shamika, is one thing I'm getting. So I think that's coming up as well. Anything else for you? I feel like anywhere you're having issues, things are going to resolve pretty nicely. That's one thing they're saying as well. They also want to mention like your family is looked after. You don't need to worry too much about that. I feel like you'll have all the resources you need to make the changes you want to see as well. Something else that's coming through. One more thing. What else? What's the card here? So 7 of Wands popped out here, and one of the messages they said is like, in a lot of ways, you're right. So if you've had any like disagreements or things you're trying to do, like you're right on the money with a lot of what you're saying or like telling other people. Keep that in mind. I feel like you've also been doing a lot of good work. I don't know if you've been doing work for others, but that's something that's coming through as well. I feel like your manifestation is going to keep getting better as well, something they're saying. And I do feel like in general you're stable, but you're going to have more stability with this King of Pentacles coming out, and a lot more manifestation fulfillment coming out with these 9 of Cups as well. And Ace of Cups was behind that 9 of Cups, so what is the message there? I feel like you're going to be getting more of what you need as well. That's one thing that's coming out. Hope that helps and makes sense. Next question. Any spirit advice? This has been going around, but it's coming through for you as well. I would get clear on what you want, Jade, and like very clear. Like I would write a 6-page journal about like what you want your life to look like, and that's more what I'm talking about. And I feel like that's a way to manifest, is getting very clear, like what do you want your life to look like? What do you want it to feel like? And you'll start to have more of those moments showing up. I would also, like, we have Our Lady who sends the angels, ask for angelic assistance. Something that's coming out with that card. And also they're showing me like the cloak. This is the Mother Mary Oracle card. So she's wearing this cloak and it looks like feathers, but it looks like peacock feathers for a second. When I looked at it, like there's a lot of peacock colors on this card. So I would strut your stuff as well. I would also do your best to be confident and don't necessarily brag or be arrogant. But if you know you can do something, I would not be shy in like doing it, if that makes sense. And also with these bluebirds, they're giving me the message like happiness is coming in. With the bluebirds, they kind of started singing that song that's happy, and they just sing, and I'm happy. They started singing that. So that's one of the things I get there. Anything else for you? I do feel like life is going to change here. And it might almost feel like, this isn't to make you feel disconcerted, but they're kind of showing me an earthquake. So you might feel like things are moving around a lot. And it's not meant to be disconcerting or scary to you. It's more just like preparing you for like, there might be some rapid shifts up ahead for you, Jade, is something they're saying. So keep that in mind. But what's up with the earthquake? Can we get a card on that? I feel like it's actually leading to happiness. It's just like you might be asking like what the heck is going on while it's happening, something. But sometimes life needs to intervene, and sometimes that leads to certain moments we don't want, but ultimately are better for us. Is something I want to say as well. I hope that makes sense, Jade. 888. Sing it. Thanks, Healing Journey Candles. Adorn for me. Am I in the correct relationship for me? I get yes for now. You're exactly where you need to be, is what they're saying. Adorn for me. I'd say like, in a lot of ways, well, it's difficult to be in the wrong relationship. And if you are in the wrong relationship, it won't last. But I feel like you're always in the relationship you're supposed to be in. It's just like, do you want that going forward, or what do you want? Does that make sense? I feel like right now is a good option. It is going to evolve. I feel like you'll like where it's headed as well, but that's what I get for you. I would stick with it for now. And if it's not meant to be, it won't last. You know, I feel like the universe is really kind of in charge in a lot of those things, in a good way. Oof. Lyndon, will my mom reconnect with family peacefully? It might be a while, and it will be semi-peaceful based on what I'm hearing. So like yes, I feel like it's a high probability, but she'll still be her. I don't know what that means for you, but that's what I'm getting. I hope that helps, Lyndon. You're welcome. Is everything with D starting to line up from Intuitive Noel, sorry. It will, is what I get. I feel like there's still things rearranging, but it's gonna align more, is one thing I'm getting here, going forward. You're welcome, Lyndon. Les Scorpio, should I connect with Devlin? I mean, my body pendulum's swinging to no, but my guides are like, it's safe to reach out if you want to connect with Devlin. Like, I feel like there's no downside to it, Les Scorpio, but it might not go where you want it to go, is one thing I'm hearing. Hope that makes sense. That's what I got. Deja, you asked why did Justin reach out? I feel like he might be interested. Make sure he's not a player. I feel like if you're interested, you can give him a shot. I feel like it'll be safe, but that's just something they wanted to say. I'd say he's trying to get with you, probably. Deja. But let that play out. I think you'll kind of feel in your gut like if it's right for you or not. I feel like you will make the best choice, Deja, is what they're saying. You will make the best choice. My daughter seems to be changing. Any advice? They're kind of talking about... Oh, I'm not sure how old your daughter is. Maybe not young, but maybe younger. In some ways, I would let her. Unless it's like really bad, I would let her and see where it goes. Let's see here. I feel like in some ways, like people are supposed to change. Like not always. I feel like there can tend to be a core of who we are that doesn't always change. Especially that part of you that is source. But I feel like people do transform. People do change. Is it a positive change? Doesn't seem like it's headed that direction, does it? I feel like overall, here's what I want to say. Here's what I'm getting. Overall, she's going to grow out of anything that doesn't seem healthy, as far as all that goes. I feel like for some reason, a slightly... Follow your gut as well. You know the situation. But a hands-off approach might yield better results at first. Until you know what to say, if that makes sense. Tricky Nikki. I feel like she's supposed to change, but it's going to get better, is something I'm also getting as well. And the other thing is, like, it's going to be difficult to change her back. Is another thing. Like, she can change for the better. Following any changes, yes. But sometimes going backwards isn't always easy, if that makes sense. So I wanted to say that as well. But it's funny because like I'm opening the cards and like Our Lady of Peaceful Change keeps popping out, as it does, I guess, today. And like I feel like in some ways it's not a bad change. It's just not what you want. But it gets better overall long term. I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps and resonates with the situation. Hey, Kara Carter, how's it going? Busy Guy 54, is my business the right one for me? I get you might end up having multiple businesses, so it's like a right business is what I'd say. Busy Guy 54. I feel like it's the right way to start. I would definitely let it grow and evolve, and don't be afraid to start something new on the side or on top of that, regardless of how this business you're doing goes, is something you want to say as well. I feel like it's a great start. And what else? I feel like it's the right choice for now, but you're going to want to end up doing more as well, is what I'd say. Busy Guy 54. I hope that helps. I would keep going with it. Justin McCartney official. Will I find success with my songwriting? The words I get are like, you can find success. I do feel like it's going to take perseverance, because they're showing this like push, like this like push, and it's like they're showing me like pretty much trying to move a boulder, if that makes sense. It's like it's gonna take some pushing, but it can happen. And I'm not trying to say be pushy towards others, but like through your work, like pushing through and like pushing through other people's stuff, pushing through this or that. I feel like it's possible, but it might take a lot of work, is one thing that they're saying regarding finding success with songwriting. So I would stay the course with it, honestly. And if you feel called to do anything else, totally fine to step off that path. But you can find success, and you likely will if you keep going, is what I'm getting. Hope that helps, Jesse McCartney official. I own multiple already, so the guides make me feel at ease. Perfect. Yeah, I feel like that's the way to go for you for now, for sure. I feel like you're on the right track with it, Busy Guy. Honestly, that's what I got. Sometimes I catch like pieces of conversation in the chat. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I get really curious about what y'all are talking about. Amaris 33. Should I stop trying to save my relationship with my fiance? Here's what I get. If you feel called to keep going, I would keep going. It does have to be a two-way street, though. I feel like you both want to have it work. You both have to want it to work. Does he want it to work? I feel like he's a bit flippant on the matter. Or sorry, if it's not a male. I feel like they're a bit flippant on the matter. Is one thing I'm getting. I don't feel like they realize it's as bad as it is, Amaris. So I would I get like a yes, keep trying. But if it doesn't work out, there's better, and that's pretty much what they say. So I hope that makes sense. Keep trying, but if it's not a two-way street, start to consider what else life can look like for you. It's possible to save it, but they have to meet you halfway as well. Does that make sense? He gets anger for everything I do. Yeah. Like if it's not working, you might want to move on if he's just not willing to work with you on that and be less angry. Because you don't want an angry marriage. You don't want to. Do you really want to deal with that your whole life? And if he's not willing to work on it, it's like you both have to do the work to make it work. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, Amaris. I feel like he'll work on it, but I don't know if it'll go as far as you want it to. Okay, going through Q&A. Marido, please tell me my spirit guy is not a fly. Is your spirit guy a fly? No, your spirit guy is not a fly. There you go. Body pendulum verified. Next question. I mean, well, take this as it resonates, but your spirit guides can talk to you through flies or through intuitive visuals of flies. But is your spirit guide actually a fly? No. I don't. I'm not sure if you were being silly with that question, but that is the answer I get. The real Yari. Is there such a thing as a life purpose? Here's what I get. Here's what I get is yes, but it's something that tends to be carried through automatically. That is to say, like, you might have certain, like, the words they want to give to me to provide to you are like certain soul encodements or certain resonances where you're bringing, first of all, you're bringing certain energies to Earth just by your being here. That matters, that's important. But there's certain themes and like who you are or what your purpose is that play out energetically while you're interacting with people, like through the jobs you do, like certain things that have to do with your purpose that are very automatic and just like who you are. And like a lot of your purpose can have to do with who you are, if that makes sense. As far as like the physical, like it's very few people's life purposes to be a lawyer. It might be something they're like, they feel destined to do or something that they're supposed to do to like have an impact on the law system. But at that point, their purpose might actually be like having change that leads to greater compassion in the law system. That might be their purpose, is bringing more compassion to Earth, more so than being a lawyer. Does that make sense? So I'd say that there can be multiple aligned ways your purpose plays out, but there definitely will be certain physical like jobs or things where you feel like you're more on your purpose when you do them, or you feel more passionate about. And I would definitely listen to that and not feel like you have to stay I don't know, don't feel like you have to stay stuck at a job that's like, this doesn't resonate with me, I don't like this, I don't feel like I'm fulfilling my passion, my purpose, I feel like it's dull. Like, don't stay at that job just because like your purpose gets played out energetically. It's more like, yes, like through following those intuitive nudges, you're going to kind of more easily play out your purpose just through following that guidance and what speaks to you anyways. Does that make sense? Like, you're gonna find things physically that resonate more with your purpose potentially than others. That's kind of what I want to say as well. So I hope that makes sense to the real Yari. And so like, yes, I think it's just different than a lot of people think. Will David and I get back together? Purian Hozek. Probably not. I'm getting my body pendulums leaning more towards no. I don't feel like it's super likely. I feel like there is better for you regardless, is something I'm also getting for you. Hope that helps. Jane Marty, do we all have soulmates and spirit guides help us find that person? Sort of, but let me go a bit more in depth into it. Yeah, for the most part, pretty much everyone has like soulmates or soul connections or people you're really going to resonate on a soul level with in that way. It doesn't necessarily mean that like, when I talk about soulmates, the definition more I have are people you've incarnated with before in past lives, or people you have that like soul resonance with in that way where it's like you know them from somewhere else. You're like, oh, I feel like I know that person, like I just have this love, I can't explain it. So usually that's like a soul connection, if that makes sense. And there's multiple. Most people, it's not just like one soulmate that you're destined to be with and that's the end all be all. I feel like there can be sometimes there are people like, yeah, you're destined to be with someone and like the universe works that out. Sometimes there are multiple aligned options that can be soulmates or twin flames or new people that are just very on a great energetic resonance with you, and it would be a great relationship. And you can always manifest that and bring that in, if that makes sense. But the universe and like your guides will guide you to those people that are your soul family, especially if you're on like a spiritual path. I feel like people show up a lot in very like key moments where it feels very fated. And like those people will tend to come into your life because they're supposed to. But as far as like, do you have one soulmate that you're destined to be with forever and your spirit guides lead you to them? Some people, that's like kind of what it is, but that's not the case for everyone, is what I'm getting, if that makes sense. And it's not like exactly like that. That's like a way to describe it, if that makes sense. I feel like there's multiple people the universe could bring you to that would be amazing soulmates, if that makes sense. But it does depend on who you are and what your path is. So like one size does not always fit all. And that's kind of why I answer that way and try to give a bit of a broader perspective as well. So I hope that makes sense. That's what I get. Shamika, thank you so much for all the gifts. And for everyone else who's been sending gifts, I really want to say thank you so much to you guys. I feel like Orbit Girl, I feel like it'll be close to the end of the year. It might not be like the end of the year, but it's like right after. I feel like you'll find one right on time, if that makes sense. I do feel like the universe will take care of you on that front. But I feel like it's closer to the end of the year, or like right on the other side of it, is what I get. But keep looking. That doesn't mean don't look right now. Like I would keep putting yourself out there and looking for it. So I would say like around that end of the year point, I would look at that. But keep looking. You'll find something. Yeah, guys, my guides want me to end the live right now, so I'm probably gonna do that. I think I hit my point a little bit ago, actually, but they've kind of been telling me to end the live for a bit, and I haven't been ending the live. So, so I'm gonna kind of leave you guys here. So I'm gonna do. Would it be nice to do a quick general reading? I'll do a really quick general reading, and then we'll kind of close out the live. You're welcome, Crafty Teacher. You too, Deja. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Heather Vibes. You have an amazing day too. So I'll pull like one card for everybody. Do a quick thing. Is this the card you want? So what's the card? Okay, Archangel Mallory. Remember who you are. Take action when you're ready. Here's interesting what I'm getting. I'm getting the word remembering, and this is more collective. I feel like, so what's that about? I feel like in a lot of ways, remember who you are is kind of the message. I feel like, but it's more at a soul level. I feel like there's more of like a remembering going online where I remember in one of just the recent lives I did, I think it was this Friday, one of the general messages was like, there's going to be more soul family coming in for a lot of people, where it's just like, it's almost like maybe you've had a lot of soul family around you, but then there's more that comes in. So I feel like that's coming in general. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of like just different activations or like things that happen that spark either like past life or like soul memories, if that makes sense, where you're remembering in a deeper way. I do feel like this is also a very spiritual process, where it's more like remembering from the soul, interestingly enough, is what I'm hearing. You might just find you resonate with certain people more strongly, or you remember like, oh yeah, this is what I came here to do, or like you have some of those realizations drop in, where it's kind of like you just remember who you are at a deeper level, and maybe why you are the way you are as well. But I feel like a lot of that is actually leading to love, like self-love as well, and as well as like growing of the self, just because it's easy to let go of things when you realize who you are, like things that aren't you, things that don't serve you. That's one thing that's coming in. I feel like also September is a good month to take action, like on dreams, or to take action steps on your goals. I feel like in a lot of ways life is growing the collective up. is something that they're saying as well. Where like a lot, this has come through for a lot of the readings I've been doing, and they're bringing something similar through now. What's the message? I feel like a lot of you are kind of growing past like pain points, or you might be like rubbing up against old ideas, and some of it's not really comfortable, but it's more like growing pains or like growing out of things, and it's kind of like when you plant a tree seed, it has to come out of the ground at some point. So it's kind of like breaching new territory, or like just growing beyond something, or hitting a certain level in your development, like where you're hitting a higher trajectory, or it's like a breakthrough almost as well, where you finally hit this level as well. I do feel like the universe is also calling everyone to have faith. That's another message I get. And so I would definitely have faith at this time. And what's the message with this one? I would just have faith in your circumstances. I feel like there's like a lot of things being redirected at this time. And so like just have faith that like what's yours is coming, and like what's meant for you will never pass you by as well. So that's a lot of, okay, one Arcane Memory. This card popping out again, answered prayers, when I pulled this card. So I feel like there's wish fulfillment, or it's a great time to make a wish that will be fulfilled. But I feel like wish fulfillment is on a rise for everyone here that stuck around for the general reading. And so I'd say like, it's for some of you it's soon, for some of you it's like a year out, but it's like that's coming. I would keep taking the action steps like towards what you want. I just think like you're gonna have an easier time bringing in what you want in the years ahead is something they're saying. So that's it. That's what I have for the general reading. I hope that helps. Those are some of the messages I have right now. I'll leave you guys there. You're welcome, Pure Divine. You're welcome, Little Snap Crackle. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna be signing off on the live here. But a big shout out to Deja for moderating. Texas Jess, I saw you as well. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to all of you who hung out. It's always a blessing to get to do this for you. I hope I have been of the highest and best service I can be to all of you. Oh, Alina Stacy. You have a great day too, and I hope you survive the storm. You will. I feel like you'll be okay, Alina. But you do the best storm prep ever, and I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. So anything else for everybody? No. I mean, I do personal readings. Link in my bio on TikTok if you're interested. And other than that, I mean, if you're interested, and I do have a book as well, Spirit Guides, Angels, and Speaking with Source. If you want to, like, it talks about how you can talk to your guides. So if you're interested, those things are there too. Thank you, Alina Stacy. Other than that, everybody have a fantastic weekend or rest of your day here. It's Sunday. And I'll see you next week, okay? Everybody take care. Sending love.